News 5 forecast first from the First Alert Storm Team. Sponsored by Hembry Heating and Air Conditioning.
And good afternoon, Gulf Coast, and happy Friday. So far today, we've avoided the showers. There have been a couple of spots that have seen some light rain, but it hasn't really lasted all that long. While no one's really seeing rain right now, everyone is getting a little bit of heat. Heat index values are already well over 100 degrees in a few locations. Feels close to 110 in Jay, Florida. It's going to be a hot afternoon with a few isolated showers, around a 20% chance a shower finds you. But as we move into this weekend, rain chances will start to go up just a little bit. News 5 at noon starts right now.
Now on WKRG News 5.
A busy day at the beach. Thousands are expected to turn out for this weekend's air show in Pensacola. And in Orange Beach, we'll show you more of this monster fish caught this morning in a huge fishing tournament. Also ahead, new developments in the investigation into the chemical spill at 8 Mile 10 years ago. Plus, a police chase in Northwest Florida led to the driver hiding in the bayou and a backyard. Find out what the suspect admitted to after he was captured.
Local coverage you can count on. You're watching WKRG News 5 at noon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to News 5 at noon. I'm Devin Walsh. First on 5, it is a busy weekend here on the Gulf Coast with air shows, fishing tournaments, and sunny weather. Just underway now on Pensacola Beach, the final dress rehearsal for the Red, White, and Blues air show set for Saturday. There are a lot of people already on the beach today turning out for practice ahead of the big show. Practice just started. The Blues will actually take to the skies at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The event draws a lot of fans from across the country who have rented hotel rooms and condos and made a week of it. Locals will hop on their boats and enjoy the show from the water. News 5 has put together a guide of everything you need to know about the air show on our website. Just look for it on WKRG.com. If you are a fishing fan, the Wharf is the place to be this weekend. The Blue Marlin Grand Championship is underway in Orange Beach. This morning, the first Blue Marlin came in. The group QuickTime reeled in a 507-pound marlin about 100 miles offshore. The Blue Marlin Grand Championship draws in fishermen from across the country. And the fish caught, they don't go to waste. The marlin are donated to a local nonprofit called One Meal. One Meal provides meals to the less fortunate in the Mobile area.
We do 150 meals every Sunday. Through the tournaments I take part in, I get enough fish to last us the whole year after the season's over.
The next weigh-in is tonight from 5 until 8 at the Wharf. The Blue Marlin Grand Championship runs through tomorrow night. So we got a lot of big events all over the Gulf Coast this weekend. And there's one thing we need to know. Is the weather going to cooperate? Well, only one person can tell us that, and that is meteorologist Thomas Keyboy. Thomas?
Well, the weather will cooperate for the most part. There will be a few showers out there. Not to say it's going to happen in Orange Beach or in Pensacola. So far today, the rain has stayed away in most spots. We have seen a few light showers, and we're seeing a few light showers popping up right along the Alabama-Florida line towards Perdido Pass. Really not too much to speak of, but it is staying north of the beach, and that's what we want to see throughout the rest of today so the Blue Angels can do their thing. Here's a look outside in Pensacola International Airport. You have those puffy cumulus clouds there in the distance, but what you can't see is the heat. It's already 90 degrees, heat index sitting at 101. The beach not a bad place to be, but if you do plan on being outside for a while today, make sure that you take those necessary precautions to beat the heat. Make sure that you find some shade, pack some hydration as well. So your dress rehearsal forecast for the Blue Angels today, temperatures will be near 90 degrees right on the beach. Temperatures a little bit more moderate, only a 10% chance for afternoon thunderstorms. If you're heading to Orange Beach today, maybe you want to get on the boat. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Winds out of the south, 3 to 8 knots, seas around 1 foot, and light chop on coastal lakes and bays. So your forecast headlines include plenty of heat, only a few showers. But as we go into Saturday, we'll see a little bit more rain coverage compared to today. And the tropics, they're much quieter for now. But we'll detail all of this a little bit more in depth coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Thomas. A man who admitted to taking meth took Okaloosa Sheriff's deputies on a wild chase last night. Officials saw 39-year-old Jason Hildebrandt run a stop sign at Fort Walton Beach. When they tried to stop him, he fled in a silver minivan. The deputy says that after following the van into a dead-end street, the man did a U-turn and then came back directly toward his cruiser, forcing him to slam on the brakes to avoid a head-on collision. The chase continued from Carmel Drive to James Lee Boulevard. When Hillebrand bailed out of the van and went into a bayou, he was eventually located hiding in a backyard. After being captured, he told police that he had taken methamphetamine. Deputies also found spice in his van. Hillebrand faces 5 felonies, including aggravated assault on an officer and fleeing and eluding. An environmental issue affecting the Pritchard community for an entire decade is finally getting federal attention. In a meeting this morning in 8 Mile, community and state leaders announced a study to look into a chemical blamed for health problems. News 5's Mary Smith joins us outside of High Point Baptist Church. And Mary, how long will this study take?
Well, Devin, the study will be conducted by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. This comes about a decade after initial complaints about this natural gas leak odor that residents were smelling out here. The study will take anywhere from 6 months to several years. Residents have complained about smelling mercaptan, which adds odor to natural gas. Community leaders at today's meeting say they've received about 4,500 complaints from people working or living in the area of that leak. The Center for Fair Housing, which is affiliated with HUD, started working with the community on this in 2012.
We want the community to know that we are committed to ensuring that the people who have been affected by this devastating situation will receive justice, and we are here to support them.
And officials at today's meeting say that there will be 2 meetings next week at 7 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday here at this church. They're asking members of the community that have experienced any issues with this to come out and sign written complaints or just express their concerns on the issue. They say the best thing you can do is to document it if you do have an issue. Reporting live in 8 Mile, Mary Smith, WKRG News 5.
Thanks, Mary. A former death row inmate from Mobile County is expected to be in court today on a theft charge. 43-year-old William Ziegler is accused of stealing a car. A warrant was placed for his arrest, charging him with theft of property first degree. He was arrested on Wednesday in Baldwin County. Back in 2015, Ziegler was released from death row after pleading guilty to aiding and abetting in the murder of Russell Baker in Mobile County. That was 18 years ago. A Mobile County judge gave him credit for the more than 15 years that he had already served in prison. A crime alert now in Pensacola, where police are investigating the murder of a woman who was reported missing a month ago. The body of Cassandra Robinson was found Wednesday night in a cargo trailer near the intersection of 65th Avenue and Fairfield Drive. Robinson was last seen leaving her daughter's birthday party in February. Her family reported her missing about a month ago. The suspect in this case is already in jail on other charges. His name has not been released. Neighbors in the area are shocked.
Well, like I said, I mean, just for somebody to find a person's body over here in a storage trailer just 500 feet from where I live, that's a little bit scary. So
it's saddening to know that the world has gone the way it's gone. It's just, and people do this kind of stuff. It's crazy. They just have no self-respect or respect for anybody else.
An autopsy will be performed to determine how Robinson died. Still ahead on News 5 at noon, former U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore speaking out after he says a famous actor and Showtime attempted to embarrass him with a fake interview. That's next.
Drexel Gilbert is on News 5, and she's on the road. Join us every week as she travels all along the Gulf Coast, meeting different people and giving you stories you won't find anywhere else. Drexel Gilbert on the road, Fridays on News 5 at 5 p.m. Before you head out for some fun in the sun, stay weather aware and download our free WKRG News 5 weather app. Get alerts wherever you are, right at your fingertips. That's local weather coverage you can count on.
Hembry Heating and Air, pledging personalized one-on-one service to you. Available around the clock to handle all your needs. Keeping you cool, cozy, and comfy since 1969.
I was driving down I-10, and all of a sudden, I had to stop short. I was in a car wreck.
Mike hurt his back so bad he couldn't even get out of bed. He acted fast. We got Mike $232,000. One call, that's all.
Ron DeSantis, Iraq War veteran, JAG officer who dealt with terrorists in Guantanamo Bay. Ron DeSantis, the guts to fight establishment politicians in both parties, to drain the swamp. 100% pro-life, leading the charge against illegal immigration. Taxpayers' superhero. And backed by the big man himself. President Trump says Ron DeSantis is a, quote, brilliant leader and an absolute warrior. Ron DeSantis for Florida.
Are you being harassed by bill collectors around the clock? Are you drowning in debt? Are you running out of options? You are not alone. Financial problems are all too common in today's economy. At the law office of Paget and Robertson, we help people just like you. You can keep your home and your car. Regain control of your financial situation. Get a fresh start. Call the law office of Paget and Robertson for a free consultation today.
CBS Wednesday is TKO. Average shows. Meet the most intense obstacle course ever created. This is amazing. And here's the twist. Let's go. You run. Your opponents attack. Kevin Hart hosts. TKO. TKO, new CBS Wednesday.
I was making a left turn, then all of a sudden, someone sideswiped me. I was injured, so I called the police, I called my husband, and then I called Morris Bart. My name is Erica. I'm Morris Bart's client.
Call me now at 433-2210 or go to morrisbart.com.
You're watching WKRG News 5, local coverage you can count on with Devin Walsh and meteorologist John Nodar. This is WKRG News 5 at noon.
Welcome back to News 5 at noon. You are looking at a live picture of Pensacola Beach. Look at it. It is packed. All of the umbrellas out. What a beautiful sunny day as the Blue Angels rehearsal is getting underway. The Blues actually will fly at 2, but there are a number of other acts that will fly any minute now. I was hoping we could catch that for you on camera. But look at that, a packed house there on Pensacola Beach for the Red, White, and Blues air show rehearsal. Former Supreme Court Judge Roy Moore claims he was duped by the host and crew of a new Showtime series called Who is America? Sacha Cohen, who played Borat as well as other undercover characters in previous movies, has a new show where he goes undercover and interviews specifically conservative politicians. Roy Moore claimed on Facebook he was tricked into believing he was invited to Washington, D.C. to receive an award for his strong support of Israel ahead of the 70th anniversary of the nation. He said in the post, quote, "I did not know Sacha Cohen or that a Showtime TV series planned to embarrass, humiliate, and mock not only Israel, but also religious conservatives." Now, other politicians have come out against the move by Cohen and Showtime, including Sarah Palin and Joe Walsh. Dick Cheney was also interviewed for that series. Well, keep it right here. The doctor is in our studio. Dr. Ken Burnham from Cardiology Associates joins us to talk about the topic of heart failure. That's coming up.
And showers are beginning to pop up near Pensacola. Will it have an impact on the dress rehearsal for the Blue Angels? I'll let you know coming up in a few minutes.
Lunch Bunch is brought to you by Baumhauer's Victory Grill, your new big game headquarters. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food.
I got hurt in a car wreck and I see all these lawyers on TV, but how do I choose?
I chose Andy. He won me $175,000.
I win or you don't owe me a dime. Call me. It's just that easy.
Call 888-8888.
Could you survive the 4 combat zones of TKO?
The Ball Blaster.
Firing at 60 miles per hour.
The Frisbee.
Rip your head off like a ripsaw.
The Spike Launcher.
Drop in on you like a mother-in-law.
The Slammer.
Squash you like a bug on a windshield.
TKO, CBS Wednesday.
Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield star in the Neighborhood. Premiering Mondays this fall on CBS.
If you were facing too many bills, would you call attorney Stephen L. Plumjack?
Absolutely. The creditors have lawyers on their side. I need a lawyer on mine.
Oh, for sure. If I needed to protect my car home, I want all the help I can get.
Definitely. Make one call and let him handle the harassing creditors.
It's a clear decision. I'd get the experience of Stephen L. Plumjack working for me.
If you're facing overwhelming debt, call attorney Stephen L. Plumjack, 694-0600.
Hey, Pensacola, get your yes with the King of Credit, American Car Center.
Say yes to just $500 a day to drive it away. Yes to up to 3 years of oil changes. Yes to a limited warranty on thousands of low-mileage, late-model vehicles.
We don't care about your credit.
Because we always want to tell you yes at over 30 locations across the Southeast.
Visit us online at AmericanCarCenter.com. Hurry to our location in Pensacola because the King of Credit wants to approve you today.
Only Cox offers the same fast 300 meg speeds everywhere. Which could be why more people choose Cox than any other internet provider. Like Tess, who almost didn't get dinner. She chose Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and join people like Kyle, who just got some bad news. Sorry. And Max, who's holding his book wrong. And Henry, who loses his cool. All of them have Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi so you can enjoy wall-to-wall fast speeds, like little Stevie, who's making herself heard.
Hi. Come on in.
Open your door to Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi.
I'm Skylar Sherrill, nurse practitioner at Southern Cancer Center. We're a family here, from the front desk to our physicians. And when we provide your care, you'll be a part of that family too. Let us navigate you from patient to survivor.
Well, it is time now to announce our next Lunch Bunch winner. Today's winner is Brittany Brown of Mobile. Brittany will get lunch for two at Baumhauer's. You can register to be a Lunch Bunch winner by going to our website, WKRG.com. Well, it is Friday here at WKRG News 5, and that means the doctor is in. We are so happy to welcome Dr. Ken Burnham from Cardiology Associates to talk about a topic that's very common. I didn't realize how common it was, and that's heart failure. Dr. Burnham, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Devin. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
When you said to me before this segment, this is huge. I mean, so many people have heart failure. I didn't realize that.
Right. So it's the #1 reason that persons in the Medicare age group are actually admitted or discharged from a hospital.
So what exactly is heart failure? Because we hear about heart attacks and heart problems. What is that? What's happening when the heart is failing?
So heart failure is a bad term. Makes you think it's all over, right?
Right.
It isn't. But the reality is that your heart is not able to meet the demands to pump the blood effectively to all your organs. So you may have symptoms such as shortness of breath, swelling, difficulty lying down, lightheadedness, lots of different things that are related to the heart just not pumping the blood around well.
Is this typically an older person's problem?
We see it more commonly in the elderly, but we see plenty of young folks in their 20s, 30s, but I would say the majority in their 40s is where we begin to see, and more in the 50s and 60s.
Wow, I mean, 40s is so young.
It's young. It's getting younger every day.
Well, I know, especially those of us who cross that threshold.
Right.
So what are some of the things we can do for heart failure?
That's a great idea. That's a great question. The reality is that there are things that we can do. General heart health, making sure that you sleep well, that you exercise, that you eat appropriately, that you avoid certain behaviors, drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. Stop smoking, huge. You know, because about half of people who develop heart failure in this country have it related to blockages or heart attacks.
Okay.
And so that half could simply be either eradicated or significantly reduced by reducing the risk for heart attack, controlling blood pressure, stop smoking, controlling diabetes, weight loss, at regular activity.
And it's so hard to reverse or to stop some of these habits that people have had for decades. I bet that's a huge challenge for people when you diagnose them with heart failure to change their things they've been doing forever.
It is, but you know, the reality is that as I tell them, I cannot force them to take the medications. I cannot force them to do the activities, to lay down the cigarettes. But when people are truly and recognize that half of the people with heart failure are dead within 5 years, worse than many cancers, there tends to be a motivation that I can do something, and when they do something, we actually see people live much longer.
Right, okay. Well, Dr. Ken Burnham is here to answer your questions. He is going to join us on Facebook Live right at 12:30. So if you have any heart-related questions, we're talking mostly about heart failure, but if you have any other heart problems or heart questions, go ahead and get ready to log on to the WKRG Facebook page, and we will see you at 12:30. Thanks again, Dr. Ken Burnham with Cardiology Associates. We'll see you on Facebook.
My privilege.
Now, meteorologist Thomas Skiboy with your First Alert Storm Team forecast.
And good afternoon, Gulf Coast. Through today, we've stayed mostly on the dry side. It's Friday the 13th. Let's see if luck is on our side, as plenty of stuff is going along the Gulf Coast today. We're starting to see a few of those showers and thunderstorms that we talked about earlier today start to pop up, and they're popping up near the Pensacola area. Thankfully, though, everything is staying north of the beach. Hopefully it stays that way, but we're starting to see that sea breeze get going. Chances are we'll see more showers and thunderstorms pop up inland. That chance of rain along the coast today, right on the beach, is a little bit lower than areas just a little bit farther north. Here's a look outside the Alpha Insurance Sky Cam from Orange Beach, looking towards Perdido Pass, a very popular place to be. And you can actually see that shower there in the distance. You can see that towering cumulus cloud. You can actually see a little bit of the rain there in the distance. However, as we venture over towards Pensacola using the Unity Fiber camera, plenty of blue skies as we look towards Pensacola Beach. So things right now looking up. Temperature sitting at 89 degrees. Water temperature at 86. Might not be a bad place to be today, but be aware those yellow flags are flying in some beaches, and also purple flags are flying as well, as a few beaches do have a high concentration of some jellyfish. Across the entire News 5 area, it's hot outside. It doesn't matter where you are. 92 at Mobile Regional, 90 in Jay, and 91 degrees in Leakesville. Right along the immediate coast, you're looking at upper 80s currently, but when you throw in the humidity, all the feel-like temperatures are close to 100 degrees. It feels like it's 106 in Jay. It feels like it's 101 in Pensacola. And it feels like it's 100 in Pascagoula. There's no heat advisory for the News 5 area, but just north of the News 5 area, there is. For our criteria to meet a heat advisory, that means heat index values of 108 degrees. Not going to quite be there today, but it will be close. It is going to be hot outside, and we still have about 1 to 2 degrees to go before we actually see our high temperatures. Go the high of 93 Mobile, 94 Leakesville, 95 in Crestview, and again, lower 90s, upper 80s right along the immediate coast. So start the forecast model at 2:15, showing a few showers pretty close to the Pensacola area, but notice staying north of the beach. We keep the chance of showers into this afternoon as that sea breeze continues to push north. By this evening, any shower gradually fades away. Once we get past sunset, the overnight fairly quiet, a south breeze, warm and muggy. And then for your Saturday, very similar to today, this forecast model not showing all that much, but I expect to see more showers tomorrow than what we'll see today. And for today, there's a 20% chance you're going to need your Green & Phillips umbrella. Let's take a quick detour, talk about what's going on in the tropics, because good news, not a whole lot. The Caribbean quiet, the western or the central and eastern Atlantic nice and quiet, same as the Gulf of Mexico. We are watching the remnants of Beryl. It has a low chance to redevelop into something, but all in all, even if it does develop, it'll likely take a similar path to Chris. There's nothing to worry about in the tropics, which is always some good news. It definitely looks and feels like summertime here on the Friday the 13th. 20% chance of rain today, high temperatures in the lower to middle 90s. That rain chance goes up slightly on your Saturday, only at 30%, not a washout. Just keep a radar handy just in case. Sunday we'll see that rain chance go to 40%, and it's 50-50 by Monday.
Well, coming up on News 5 at noon, the final day of practice is underway right now for tomorrow's big air show. We're going to take you live there when News 5 at noon continues.
Family Feud, today at 4 on WKRG 5.
Savings by the truckload at American Freight. Deluxe foam mattresses from only $99 each piece. Upholstered beds from $128. Sofas from only $198. Why buy online when you can try it before you buy it and take it home today with low, easy payments? Free layaway, same-day delivery. Ends July 31st. At American Freight in Pensacola at 4500 Mobile Highway and in Mobile at 3404 Moffett Road.
clearance. Over 100 Chris Myers Rams during the summer clearance event. New 2018 Rams, $15,000 total savings. Shop over 100 Rams during Chris Myers Ram clearance. New 2018 Rams, $15,000 total savings. Over 100 Rams with clearance pricing while they last. Chris Myers in Daphne. ChrisMyers.com.
Troy King and liberal Democrats spreading fake news and lacking basic civility.
I'm Attorney General Steve Marshall. Alabama needs a leader who will work with President Trump and protect our way of life. I'm a pro-life Christian conservative. I've defended the Second Amendment, and I've cracked down on sanctuary cities. I'm the only candidate that's actually stood with President Trump in the Oval Office to discuss how we end illegal immigration.
Republican Steve Marshall.
For years, people injured in car wrecks have been counting on us when it's time to make that one call.
Call 433-2210.
Everybody knows who to call.
Serious injuries require a serious attorney.
My client needed back and knee surgery. I got him $550,000.
My client had neck surgery. I got her $175,000. Every day we get results just like these for our clients. If you've been hurt, you know what to do. One call, that's all.
Celebrate your independence during the month of July with a Liberty Safe during Mike Ward's Scratch and Dent Truckload Sale, now going on. Save hundreds on slightly blemished Liberty Safes with a lifetime replaceable warranty and a fire or attempted break-in. Best of all, have your Liberty Safe delivered up to 50 miles ground floor at no extra charge. Financing for 12 months at 0% interest is available with approved credit. Just look for the giant Liberty Safe at exit 5B, I-65 in Moffett and Mobile. Call 471-1137.
Hi, we're here to tell you about Judge Brad Mendham.
What?
Mendham.
Oh, I got it. Send 'em, mend 'em.
Judge Mendham was appointed by Governor Ivey to the Alabama Supreme Court. He has 17 years of judicial experience and has presided over 300 cases. He's fair, impartial, and will always follow the Constitution.
Like I said, send 'em, mend 'em.
I'm Brad Mendham, and I ask for your vote on July 17th.
Get traffic, weather, and news weekday mornings on News 5.
The final dress rehearsal for the Red, White, and Blues air show is going on right now at Pensacola Beach. You know, a lot of folks just relaxing there on the beach. We're going to look at a wide picture here. Look at this. This got underway at noon, and oh my gosh, look at the beach.
There's so many people there.
It's packed, but it's so exciting to see all of these planes flying right over the beach. This is a weekend that people look forward to and come from all over.
Yeah, so some of the planes getting ready to go right now. The Blues will fly around 2 o'clock. You basically get 2 air shows in one if you decide to go both days, but that beach is absolutely packed, and there's going to be plenty of boats out there as well.
Yes, absolutely. And don't forget, in about 3 minutes, we'll be on Facebook Live with Dr. Ken Burnham from Cardiology Associates to talk about heart problems, so be sure to log on and join us then. See you tonight at 5.
WKRG aerial footage, sponsored by Green & Phillips.